I would get some exercise, breathe in the city's little pockets of nature and history. Maybe I would pick up some groceries on the way back and cook a nice dinner. I would return home renewed, the sleepless weeks behind me, the panic cooled. I was having a hard time getting dressed during that winter. Basic tasks exhausted me. Although I was 6 months pregnant, the anxiety that constantly thrummed through my body made me smaller than ever. That morning, I chose to wrap myself in Patrick's clothes. An old green hoodie, scratchy woolen gloves from the Army-Navy store. I pulled out my Brooks running shoes, untouched since the previous spring, from under our entryway bench, and zipped up a parka from the winter before that now hung off my frame. I wound Patrick's blue flannel scarf around my neck and tucked my chin inside. Outside, it was cold for early December, and I startled a bit at the bare trees and sharp wind as I began walking west towards the park. We had moved to Queens in July, but the neighborhood was still unfamiliar to me. I didn't like it. I missed our neighborhood in Brooklyn, where we met friends each Sunday at a cozy bar across the street from our apartment. Queens was too busy, too garish, too impersonal. I didn't know anyone here, and my friends in Brooklyn seemed far away. Our Astoria apartment was large, but we hadn't yet filled the empty rooms. Here, we lived across the street from a CVS. I turned right down Steinway Street. The unfamiliarity of the neighborhood and the certainty that I was losing my mind merged together to shift the landscape of the thoroughfare into a menacing funhouse. The fluorescent lights in the window displays of the Payless and edible arrangement stores too bright. The old men smoking cigarettes and sipping coffee out of short glasses outside the hookah bars unseemly. I crossed Astoria Boulevard and onto the pedestrian overpass above the freeway, the cars rushing east. I didn't want to look down. I tucked my head further into the scarf and quickened my step. I reached the edge of the park, the end of my journey. I marveled at the joggers, their breath making neat puffs in the wintry air. The mothers talking on their phones and pushing their babies. I felt a combination of envy and disbelief. How could they just carry on with their lives at a time like this? And then I realized, with a profound disappointment, that the emergency was happening only to me. I walked down the pathway to the water, choppy and gray in the December morning. Hellgate Bridge loomed above, the trains no longer crossing over its abandoned tracks. I knew then there would be no groceries, no dinner at home, no getting through the expanse of the day alone. Hands shaking, I peeled off the wooden glove and fumbled for the phone in my purse. "Babe," my voice sounded choked and girlish. "I need you to come get me. I'm in Astoria Park. I don't know how to get home."